I am 35 years old and unmarried. That sentence alone carries a kind of quiet weight, the kind that doesn't need to be spoken aloud to be felt. It lingers in the pauses between my mother's phone calls, in the curious eyes of aunties at family gatherings, and in the gentle yet loaded question, "So when are we meeting him?" I have heard that question in a dozen accents, from the mouths of relatives and friends, even strangers who know nothing about my life beyond my age and my left ring finger. It doesn't matter how many degrees I hold, how hard I have worked to build a life I'm proud of, or how much peace I've cultivated within myself. In the eyes of many, I am still incomplete. Growing up in an African home, I was taught that life follows a script. You study hard, graduate, find a job, get married, have children, and live happily ever after, preferably in that order. The storybooks ended with weddings, not with women who chose differently. The songs, the movies, the whispers in the market, all sang one tune. A woman's worth is confirmed when she becomes a wife. So now, at 35, people look at me with both admiration and pity. Admiration for my independence, pity for my solitude. It's as if success and singlehood cannot coexist, as if a woman's achievements lose their shine without a man's name beside hers. But the truth is, I have lived. I have loved and lost. I have built and rebuilt myself. I have faced the silence of my own company and found music there. Still, the world keeps reminding me that I am behind, as if life were a race and marriage the finish line. At 35, I've come to realize that this weight I carry isn't entirely mine. It's the weight of centuries of tradition, of women who were told their only power was in belonging to someone. It's the weight of expectation, of culture, of fear, fear of being the one who never married. Yet, beneath that weight, there is strength. There is peace growing in the cracks. There is freedom in knowing that while I may not have fulfilled the world's definition of womanhood, I am slowly defining my own. I grew up in a world where girls were raised not just to become women, but to become wives. From a young age, I watched the choreography of womanhood performed around me. Aunties teaching nieces how to cook properly, mothers reminding daughters to sit like a lady, and grandmothers praying that we would find good husbands who will take care of us. It wasn't malicious, it was tradition. Generations before me had lived lives where survival often depended on marriage. To be chosen was to be secured, to be seen, to be safe. But in that safety was silence, a silence that swallowed many women's dreams before they had the chance to speak them aloud. As a child, I learned that beauty was currency. I learned that patience was virtue, especially the kind of patience that endured disappointment quietly. I learned that a woman who spoke her mind too often might be too proud to keep a man. The lessons were soft, disguised as love and concern, but they shaped how I saw myself. By the time I was in my 20s, the question of marriage had become a drumbeat in my life. It was never loud enough to drown everything else out, but it was always there, steady, insistent, waiting. When I graduated, people congratulated me but followed it with, "Now the next step is marriage." When I got a good job, they said, "That's good. Now a man will find you more attractive." Every achievement somehow circled back to marriage, as though my entire existence was a waiting room for a man. The truth is, I tried. I loved with sincerity. I gave with everything in me. And I hoped, maybe even begged, for love to find me and stay. But life doesn't always follow the script you're handed. Some relationships ended in heartbreak, others in confusion, and a few simply faded away with time. For years I thought something was wrong with me. Maybe I was too ambitious, too outspoken, too difficult to love. Maybe I should have been softer, more accommodating, more what society wanted me to be. I tried bending myself into different shapes, hoping to fit into someone's idea of wife material, but each time I shrank, I lost a part of myself. Each time I silenced my voice, I felt a little less alive. It took years and many tears to realize that I wasn't broken. The script was, the world had written a version of womanhood that was too small for women like me, women who dream loudly, think deeply, and want more than to simply be chosen. Now at 35, I no longer wish to fit into a script that was never mine. I am rewriting it, line by line, with courage, clarity, and compassion for the woman I've become. There's a kind of silence that only women over 30 know, the one that hangs in the air when someone asks, "So when will you settle down?" and you don't have an answer. It's not an angry silence. It's a quiet mix of exhaustion and defiance, of having explained your choices too many times.